Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this occasion. Thank you very much to Simona Finessi and the equipe of Platform for this chance that I have to stay in this very, very beautiful place. I would like to show you a project, a work that was finished about 2 years ago and was the beginning of the work. The project was immediately before the COVID moment and was probably not the most important project of the last year that my office done, but probably is one of the most interesting for our opinion and our point of view on the architecture works that we done. So I decided to present this work because I would like to give you the idea of how it's very important to work on democracy of space that is based on a second life that you can give a skeleton of a public building that was completely forgotten in the outskirts of Naples, that is my city, and the city of I mainly work with my wife, and probably needs to have a special care. And so we can do architecture beginning from the form, from the shape. Shape is very important for us. Shape is the main moment of architecture. All elements of architecture come after, because the shape is the center, and now in this moment in so very strange moment of sense of guilty of architecture, we forgot that the shape is the main problem. So in this case, we was someone called us to finish the building of the metro station in Scampia, that is one of the most strong outskirts of my city of Naples. And this metro station was completely abandoned from 30 years and was like a steel skeleton, half destroyed, that the people need to have like a sign of a renovation for the city, but not only optimistic, but especially some like a sign of a real concrete democratic revolution. And we work without adding a new building, but only using these post-industrial ruins and transform them with an extreme process of decoration. Oh, che combinato. Eccoci qui. This was the sketch of my project in 2019, at the beginning of this adventure. So this was the building in the middle of Scampia, as I found when I began the project. Was a black facade with the line of the trains, and the station was under the line of trains. So it was very important to let all of this steel structure that was not very old, was good, was probably exaggerate. But I think that when you work in the south of Italy, you have to don't let everything, but you have to recover everything because everything costs. Everything has a trace, has a history. And so we have we are obliged to recover, to transform. Recovery is not a restoration project. It's a absolutely revolutionary project. And so we imagine that this strange space become this. These are the people that goes to take the train during the works in 2018 before COVID era. And in this moment I became the project. I let all as was, but I only imagine something to cover this space, accompanying and using absolutely simple materials. So you have this idea to transform this interior space in a square for the people that is open. And I use a very strange door, like a homage to the architecture of the early 90s. That I like very much, the monster architecture of Lebey's Woods and other deconstructions architects that is probably today completely forgotten because it's too much physiognomic. And so this is the section of my building that is a building in another building. So you can see the space of the station in these drawings. And this is the external space where I and Simona, my wife, put like a jewel on the facade. So this jewel is something that is a decoration, a stratigraphic element on this facade. So the facade remains the same black facade that was the ancient facade. And we add only the door with the image of Scampia. Non so usare sto coso. And this is the tile of the facade. So you can go inside, and I use only alucobond panels and stop. And I follow the hypothetic shape that give to the building the ancient engineer that was lost in his plans that was very difficult to recognize after 30 years. So you can imagine that during the night you have a square with these small lights that are like stars that you have in the outskirts of Naples. And it's like something of Federico Fellini and of something connected to the memory of my city. And this extreme approach goes inside, and I mixed Mies van der Rohe architecture with pillar, and suspending the gold structure with the photo of the artists that worked with me for regenerate this space. And I used that incredible, very, very sad windows that are perfect in my case, because it was interesting to let them like a factory, as was intended before. This is the interior space. And this is like a small homage. I left the roof with the ancient structure, and I cover only because I am not an architect that can stay in a art gallery, but I am an architect that can stay in the way, and so I don't let the ruins inside. I think that the ruins are too much important to be let to the public side. And so I worked with the memory of the work of Aldo van Eyck and probably of the architects of the Team 10 during the cover of the staircase. Different levels, colors, and you have immediately these strange objects that goes to the plane of the railway. This is a girl with the mask, and the work was completed in 2021 during pandemic, and was a very metaphysical and strange moment for Naples, that is a city full of people, and in this case was completely empty. And these photos for me are an incredible document of that moment for my city and for our approach. It was an approach that accompanies the ruins to a new dimension without the happy view that some architects have when they shows the contemporary ruins with a lot of rhetoric. And in this case, it's very strange because this is a shape that we imagine when I was a student of architecture, the image of the angle of the facade that was one of the elements of the monster architecture, American monster architecture, that I loved very much. And so in this case, I let the last element of the Promenade Architecturale to go out of the door to be like a sign of the existence of the new station that is not so new. Okay, I finished. This is the last. Okay, probably finito. Now I show you very quickly for 1 minute, if you want, my last work, that is a new villa from a skeleton, concrete skeleton, near Sperlonga. This was the skeleton. This is the villa. You have the staircase like in Casa Malbarte in Capri. That is my obsession. And so you can see these are drawings. Oh. And this is the house ended. And she's like a strange animal that you can see on the top of the hill. You have this strange trees, umbrellas on the rooftop. There is an empty house and a full house. The empty is on the roof. The full is under the roof. So you can see how the pool is in this incredible view. It's very, very close to all the villas that I designed in the last years. And the internal is like with this yellow man that is like the very owner of the house that say you good morning when you come inside. With your eyes. And This is the old skeleton, and the spaces, but it's too, too long to explain all this adventure because the house was very, very strong for me to imagine and to build. To build. Okay, right to the last, and these last are the new villas, are the older villas that I done is you can see in the upper part of the forest that was in 2007. The other is 4 or 5 years ago, and this is finished this year. From my idea is that is incredible for an Italian architect to build a village in very near Rome, between Rome and Naples on the coast. Thank you.